Hello everyone. As I said in my previous session, right, I will show you adding one more table to the database, mapping kind of relationship. I am doing it today. I have already addressed table to the database, and I will do the code changes in front of you. I already did and checked it. I will do the same code change in front of you to show you how you can change, how we can add another table to the database, and how we can change your existing code base to accommodate that table and fetch data from that table when you're fetching person based on his ID, how the person can fetch the address information also from that table along with person ID. Because when I was fetching data from using person ID, I want to get all the person's information right along with address. So how I can do that? So I'm going to show you that today. This is again part of your Java full stack development. See, slowly, I'm showing you all the things which is more than basic. As I said, it is more than basic. You will get more than basic. If you are watching it, you are in the right place. And if you are connecting me, you are in very right place to learn and understand production development, product development, application development, and you will be also understand how to handle, environment in productions, how to handle environment in your development. Uh, let's go ahead. First, I will show you the database. I have already opened it so that I will not waste time logging into database. Here, this is the table description. Description person. Same table. I have not changed anything. Person ID, first name, last name, middle name, age, gender. Oh, I have not shared my screen. Let me share my screen so that you will be able to see it. Sometimes it happens, while recording, I get involved in talk. I forget. I miss it. I not forget. I miss to share it. Anyway, we have to share it. Otherwise, the recording will be waste. Only you will see my face. There is no screen, no information which actually you want to see. So here the description of person. I have not changed anything in person. This person ID, first name, last name, middle name, age, gender, ID. Same things are there. The ID, I think this is one extra column is added. I will delete it later. This column is no more required. ID column is not required at all. This is extra added. Maybe, that Hibernate auto detail somewhere it is enabled and ID column some, while trying to create address table and do the settings, I might have messed up with something. So we'll delete this. No need of worry about that. Then describe address ID, person ID, address line 2, pin zip code. You know why it is pin zip code? In India, it is pin code, but if you go to US country, it is zip code. So I made it a kind of name where people can understand. Either you use the table for country like India, or you use the table for country like United States of America. So let's go here: country, city, district, and county. In our here, in India, it call it district. In other country, district equivalent is county. County, provinces, all these are there, right? State is basically kind of provinces. So, so the address type, state. Even again, just I gave a flavor, kind of fusion flavor. So next coming to the records we have, if you see select star from person, here you see I have attached address to my record. I just have attached address to only my record to show you how it works. And I have, foreign key. See, this is a person ID. Only my person ID is here, and I have two permanent address and one current present address, right? So I will show you how to fetch this kind of record from the database, how to create an address value object, and how to have all the information. Now here, what I'm trying to tell you or what I'm trying to pass the information is how Hibernate mapping is done and how you fetch the data from the database. Now your task is create a proper JSON. I will show you, you can get a proper JSON from here itself, from the response object of while fetching the person by ID. You can take that JSON and change the value and send a create request to create a record. That is your work, your homework, your task. Do it. Now let's go download the same code base person annotation. We will do it with a fully annotation project for that annotation project. Let's download that annotation project from GitHub. Let me log into my account, satyananda.sahu @gmail.com. Yeah, this is the account. Let me log into it. So going back to that project, right, repository, I think this is a Spring Annotation REST API. Not I think I only created. So Spring Annotation REST API, and let's download this project. So I'm downloading this project. Yesterday while I was trying to create this project for this session, I downloaded and started creating it. So again, I did the same thing, so that you can understand how to go and continue with that. This is the project. I'll take it. I'll take it to the project folder, Java project. I will take it to the download from Git. We'll delete the existing one. Paste it here. Paste it here. From download folder, right? And let extract it. So the project is extracted now. Let's go to Eclipse and create a new project. See, whatever I will push to the GitHub, I will push in the same Spring Annotation REST API project. I'm not going to create any new project. I will decide. I will decide accordingly. I will put the Git in the YouTube. So it depends on you how you can do it. Maybe I will push this project what I'm creating now, so that what will happen now, you will have the references how these course and sessions went, and what all content, how we developed or modified the existing project to come to this level. So you will have that information also. I will push this new project. So I'll create the package name same comrade example, so that when we copy paste this existing project to this Eclipse, it will be same. I will give some string annotation REST API. I'll put UP updated, right? I will put update, right? That's all. And now we will create this. This won't take much time. That's why I've not created a project earlier. I'm creating in front of you so that you'll have the information, or you will see how it is getting created. So these videos are usually actually for a fresher or a new comers to the Java development area. You can easily learn. If you see my Java full stack development video from session 1 to till this session, you will be, that is, I think this will be session 39, right? Or 38, maybe 30, 39, 40, some 39, I think. So if you see till this session, you will understand how Java development happens. This is episode 39 is going on, I think. So, yeah, you can check it. So then once this project is getting in between that, we can check what is this episode number. See, I'm not a trainer. I am a senior engineering manager. I'm a senior engineering manager. Currently, I don't have a job. So that is the reason I'm creating videos on my free time. You might find all these videos, you'll find all these videos on YouTube anywhere, but you will not find a series of videos which will explain you Java full stack development starting to end. Yeah, this is 39. This is going to be, 39 uh, session or 39 episode. Let's go to the, yes, yeah, project is created. Now we will, go and do update in that project. Spring REST API update. Yeah, it is just below this. Taking some time. So let's go to this project, which I exported, that on archive folder. What I will do, I'll copy both Java and resources because both of them we need, and I paste it here. Main overwrite all. So everything came as it is. Now what I will do? Now I will go and to since I'm going to upload this, I'll copy this Docker file also. Though I don't need now, but while uploading I need it. And the form file, I will just open the form file and copy the content, right? That is from line number 10 to last line number 260, 270 to 279, 280 till 279. And upon this form file, just give me some time. So this is how it is. Yeah. I'll paste all the content here. Yeah, we're done. Okay, the stream annotation update. This is the name we have here. Everything is fine. Right? So in between that, if you see my, as I said in previous session also, my Eclipse has some issue. It will always take the older version of Java. Even if I set the default, going to the config, going to the Windows, Eclipse preference settings, I have set the default preference settings for the project is Java 23. Still, then it will take the older one. So first, then I have to remove this Java SE edition now. Build path and then configure build path. See this until and unless the Eclipse gets setting up, I will show you. This readme file. I've added the create table creation script here in the readme file. This is the table creation. Foreign key constant is your person ID. This is that I have shown you. And what else I need to show you here? And no, nothing. Yeah, this is how table I have shown you, readme file I have shown you. Let's go. Now remove this JDK. Readme file I'll post it to the Git. You can directly create from there. You can run this script, take this script and run into your database. MySQL database, it will create a table for you. The test filter is not required because I'm not showing you how to write test cases and test it. Here, application properties file, I would no need of changing anything. Whatever we have in the application properties file, it will be there. Everything will be the same. Log project XML, everything will be the same. The only changes will be in this Java code, you know, and in Java code we need to change. First the changes will happen in the here in value object. In previous project, I have already, before coming to this session, I have done the changes. I will just get that changes here and show you what the changes I have done. Writing the code again will take some time more time, right? But rather, if I explain you, it will be faster. See, I created another table called address table, and that is for that I created a Java class, Pojo class, and that Pojo class is entity class. As you know, in the previous session, I said why add that entity. The class which is attached to a table, you have to always write add that entity. And here, add that ID. Why? Because this is address ID is the primary key. That is the reason I've written add that ID. And user ID is basically, it's a strategy to generate your key, primary key, and that key will be automatically assigned to the address ID, like we did it in, like I have shown you it in here in person how it works, right? This one is your ID. Same way, I have assigned the same strategy for generating address ID. Now column name, name of the column address line one, address column address line two, address column, same. The same column name already. The only difference will be I will show you what is the difference. See, one person will have many address. So what you have to do, we have to create a list or set. We have to create a list or set here. I will create it here. It is not there. I will create it, right? Private set. This piece of code I will write it here. Private create set, right? Address, and here where did you add in? Right? This is set. And this will be what? This will be your many to one mapping. This will be many to one mapping. And in address, what will be? In address, if you go, see, one person will have many address. So in address table, it will be reverse, many to one, right? So in address, you have to create a person and person. And you have to join the column, that person ID, the foreign key here, at the rate join column, name, person ID. This is what you have to do. Now here in this portion, many to one, you can have, many more attributes. You can have, you can have the attribute here, many to one, like to which it is mapped, right? Many to one, you will have an attribute like mapped by person. Mapped by person is required. What it is. Yeah, mapped by only. Okay. Let me get these all values. Hmm. Hmm. Many to one, right? So this is how you have here the values. This mapped by why it is showing notes, and that is the reason I went to that class. Here, mapped by is working fine. What happened to this particular? It is here. Anyway, fine, we'll see. Let the error be there. While compiling, we'll come to know if it is throwing out or if it is having proper. Sometimes this Eclipse will show error, but it will be proper. Now we have this mapped by and all this, right? So we have to generate a setter getter for this also. We have to generate setter getter for this. This is many to one here in person. Oh, this is one to many. I'm saying, see what I created. I am saying one to many. I created many to one here. That is the reason I was thinking. Yeah. So now it is fine. So one to many because one person will have many addresses, and in case of address, you will have many to one. Sorry, what I'm looking now, person. Okay, let me close this person. This is one person we have, and that is in the same project, update project, and address. In address, you have many to one because one address will hold many person ID, right? The many address for many person will have multiple for one person will have multiple address. That's why person ID will be many in address table. That's why it is many to one. Many address will connect to one person, and in case of person, it will have one to many. One person will have multiple address or many address. See, mapped by person. So basically, one to many is mapped by person, mapped to this person. And the fetch type is lazy. If your fetch type is it will load upfront, and lazy is it will delete loading, right? So these are the attributes you need to add. You don't add this attribute also, it will work, but depends on your business need, your business requirement. You need to add these attributes. Now for this particular class, we need to have a setter getter for this particular address. So I created a setter getter for get address and set address. I generated using Eclipse tool. Now address table and person table is ready. Right? Person table is ready. You see, there is no change. This is same thing. See, in earlier days when initially Hibernate came into picture, in very initial days, you need to add serializable, implement serializable. Nowadays, even if you implement serializable or don't implement serializable, it will work. Now coming back to the code base. Now what else changes is required? Now backend changes we have done. In front end, do I need to do any changes? In front end, we don't need any changes. Backend change would be enough to fetch this thing. But I will tell you while myself I am doing it, I faced one issue. As this address table, this person table, when we a person when I fetch this person with ID, it will fetch address also for me, right? For the particular person. So list of address or set of address it will process a collection of address, right? Multiple addresses. So what happen actually? This entity object will hold less, lots of information about entities and Hibernate objects. So if you pass this person entity directly through response, you will get an error. You will get an application error. Sometimes you will get a JSON which is not proper. So for that, you need to write your own utility program, to make this JSON a better JSON. We will do that. Before that, I will show you since we have already done this setting. Now let's go to the main method, this and run this application to see what we are fetching from the backend. Okay, so see this issue will come initially if you have not done the POM build. So you have to do the POM build in a new project so that all the jars will get downloaded and come into the build path. So I'm going to do a POM build. The install and package, both the statements does the same work in Maven. You can write Maven package to build to do a build. You can write Maven install to do a build. You see, this is build is done. Let me go and run this main method again. See, when you are doing any changes in backend, sometime you need to have some changes in frontend also because to support or accommodate the backend changes. Otherwise, it will be, fine. It works as it is. If you have a UI, no doubt. Like initially, I created a UI for only person information, and I don't have a label or text block to put the address there, right? So now, if I want to use that UI page, I need to have labels, to put the address information there. Here, same HTTP /localhost colon 8081 sorry 8080 plus user plus API question mark ID equal to I'll fetch my ID vector from the database. This is the ID I'll fetch and paste it here. See, this is how we will get. This is how we will get. See, only I have three records. Here you see, let me maximize it. See, only I have three address, multiple address, right? Two permanent address and one present address. it is showing me so many addresses, and while it is showing me so many addresses, it has only pulled one address, not all multiple address. But in backend, it has pulled all the address, not single it. In backend, it has pulled all the address, but while displaying it in this screen, JSON got confused because of lots of persistence entity inside that ORM object, entity object. It got confused. It is not able to create the proper JSON to display here. If I go to the backend in the console, see here I will show you wherever this query is there, right? See here, it is whatever it is fetching. This is one ID. You see here, this is another ID, right? And if you see here coming down, there will be another ID. See, all these are different IDs it is fetching. AC here. It fetched three IDs, right? But it is showing only one ID repeatedly. To handle this kind of situation, I thought okay, Spring Boot might have some configuration or JSON might have some configuration to handle this kind of session issue. Or for JSON conversation from object to JSON, JSON to object, you can use faster JSON or you can use JSON. JSON is from Google, and faster Jackson is from Jackson. So either of them you can use. Here already we have JSON API. We need not trigger to add it. Is there, but we need to have a kind of way to fix it. When you have a mapping, you will have always the problem. I'll show you with one more changes. If I do this person, if I go to that particular attribute where I have mapped it many to one, right here, I will write here at the rate JSON ignore. See, I'm telling JSON ignore this particular one to many mapping. Now what will happen? I'm starting the server, and from here you can see how it works. Because initially we didn't have this address tool and we're able to fetch the person information in a better JSON way. Now we're not able to fetch it, right? Now when I am trying to fetch it, it is showing me a JSON string which is not that proper. Here, now if I fetch this, if I hit the URL, see how happily JSON is created with the proper JSON. But when adding address, it is getting trouble. So let's not get into things. Let's fix it. If you are facing this kind of issue when you're fetching entity object and direct asking directly you are asking the REST API. If you go to this person, what I will open that class, the class which you are using, personal information API, right? This is the class where I am calling this guy, get person biography, you know CC here. Directly I'm returning this person object, right? Directly returning the person object. Spring Boot is taking care of your media type, and it is also taking care convert this person object to JSON. But when this again this person object is the entity object directly fetched from the backend database. Now when an address is added, this object is getting confused. The Spring Boot JSON converter is getting confused. If there might be some configuration, I tried finding it out. I'm not able to find it out. But long time back, when in very initial days, when there was auto configuration was not there, auto conversation was not there, we used to do some kind of manual conversation of object to JSON. I took that approach. You can always use that approach to fix this kind of issue. Let me stop the server. It will make the Eclipse heavy. And going back to, I added one util class. I'm going to add that same class here. I'll take it from the project and I will show you what exactly that util class is doing. Anyone can write that util class. It's not a big class, just converting the, it's just converting your uh, entity object to normal object. See, this is the Pojo class, which I've written. It is taking person object, which is coming from back from the database, that entity object, and it is creating and returning another person object. What it is doing, it is fetching all the value from the person object and setting to the new person object, fetching all the value from the address object and setting it to the new address object and returning back. So when you do this way, what will happen? No, you will remove unnecessary references. You will remove unnecessary references from the from um, the values or from the um, JSON string, right? So that's how it is doing. It's just creating another person object. See, in line number 40, it's creating another person object, setting all the person values. Since person is one, so all the values just one. Now it can have multiple address, right? So I'm checking if the address is not null and not empty. If the set is not null and not empty, then I'm creating here one address set, new hash set. Right? I'm making an address equal to null and iterating that collection, that set iterating that set, and what the address which is coming from database, getting the address ID value from the address ID and setting it to the new address object. So it is doing for all the address or the number of addresses you have. Each time it will create a new address and set all the values. Actually, line number 27, it is creating in the new address, setting the values. In line number 38, it is setting up the it is setting this address or it is adding this address to the collection. And at the end, that person dot set address, the address of the collection is created, it is set to the address and return the person. This is the utility that what we need to do. And for this, you have to go to personal information. Here, some little bit modification is there. You get this value from here. Then what you do? You create an object mapper. You create object mapper object obsession, right? Then what you do? String JSON string equal to object mapper dot right value as a string, right? Here you have to pass this class, convert Hibernate Pojo to normal Pojo. That convert method here, right? Dot. See, it is a static method, so I need not require to, you know, create or I need not require to do anything. Here, what I will pass? I will pass this person here. And this is how the method is done. See, this write as a value string, it throws an exception, compile time exception, that is JSON processing exception. So what I need to do, I need to add this exception. So I'm going to add this exception. And what I'm going to do, I'm going to have a try catch around the whole set of. Right? Now, here I will return a string, simple string, and that is your JSON string because it is already converted to a JSON string. No need of the Spring Boot to convert it. I will define this in the beginning of the method, so return statement will be it is visible to return statement. Let me maximize this thing while coding. So this is the method. You see, this is the method, right? Control Shift F. Format this method, and then this is the method, right? This is the method you see. There is only a change is object mapper. Nothing else is added to that object mapper. And I have added just a JSON processing exception. What I will do, I will have one more catch here for normal to catch normal exceptions. Right? And you can have a logout or debug for that. Logout or debug, normal exception. Here same thing. This is JSON processing exception. Okay. So this is what I have done now. Here, same thing, invalid data or something, you can, for JSON processing exception, you can throw always this invalid data, right? Because why JSON is not able to process because of invalid data. So invalid input data or invalid data, just you can put the message invalid data, the fetch data, which is the data which you are fetching from the backend is invalid. You can put that. And what else is there? Here also you can say here it be like this. You can add some other exception if it is normal exception like application or resource not found can also be you can add that there and you can give a message if it happens. Message like server is down, server is busy, right? Something like that. So this is how the modification is done. This is how the modification is done. If you see, this modification is done. What only I added in the front end. In front end, only this JSON, and it should be created if object is not, if object is not null. So we'll take it down. If person is null, then we're throwing this exception, right? This was not found. We'll put it in as if person is not null. Yeah. So this is how the code, and you already know what is this convert pojo, this method is doing. It is taking the entity person object and converting it to a normal person object and sending it back. So what in this way, what actually it does, it removes all the references of Hibernate entities or Hibernate, part of the references Hibernate created for this project, for this person object using reflection. Hibernate internally uses reflection. It uses reflection. Reflection is another concept in Java. Using reflection, you can modify the object during runtime. So what Hibernate does using reflection, it modifies the object during runtime and it add more references to this object, which actually not needed for us. So if you go and manually convert this object to a normal object, that all references will get detached from the object, and you will have only what you need. So that is the reason I'm doing this conversation. So let's go and run this method and see if it is working accordingly. Let me maximize this. So it started, right? So let's go hit now. Okay, one more thing. I think I have not removed that JSON ignore. So I have to remove that JSON ignore. Yes, I have not removed that JSON ignore. So let me go and remove that JSON ignore. All right. And where is that JSON ignore? I have written it in person. No, this is no more required. Let's move it. Okay. Now I have to run it again. I would have done that. Now let me hit it. Huh? See, you got only very less. You got very less information here, right? You got very less information. Let me copy this and let me format it to a JSON. Let's go to a JSON formatter, online JSON formatter, and format it. Okay, it formatted this. Control C. I can notepad plus plus. See, this is the JSON. This is the address. Now 5382 1745565535382 is the person ID. First name, last name, I don't have middle name, age 44, gender male. Then address. In address, what it is? First address, right? This is one of my permanent address. Then second address, right? And then third address. Right? So you see, these are the three addresses I have for this particular person. If I go to database, in database also you see three address, three rows only, right? And as I said, I have only attached one person ID. So only three addresses, three rows, right? So this is how you can see. I'm going to do this. I'm going to attach address to the all of them, whatever the person's records I have here. My uncle Vishwanath Sahu, Santilada Sahu, 1, 2. My father Navakishore Sahu, my mother Sulochana Sahu, 4. Myself I added. My wife Madhusmita Sahu. This is 5. My father-in-law Ravindra Sahu. This is 6. My mother-in-law Sanjukta Sahu, 7. So I will add all these address, 7 address to all this address table. And in next session, I will show you with randomly fetching any of the ID and showing you. Now, if I take my wife's ID, this is so I'm taking it and showing you, but the address you will not get. You will get only you will get the person details. See, you got only person detail address is null, right? So this is how your you add another table and you create another entity and accordingly you attach it, right? Accordingly you attach. Now you see in this session this person is null, right? We don't, this person is null and this person is always kind of null, right? So what you can do, you can ignore this. You can write in kind of address in address, you can let me stop this about it is disturbing. So let in address always you can go and write this at the rate session ignore, right? Because this person we don't need anymore to display it in this JSON string. In this JSON string, we don't need this version because we know this is the same person what we have here in the beginning, right? This is the same person, so we don't need anymore this person. And you can always validate, like, you can always go and validate this particular JSON string if it is proper or not. You can always convert and validate. Here it is there validate, so you can click on validate. It will say you if this string is this JSON is validate or not, right? So always what you can do, always you can uh, online tools are available. If your JSON is created and you want to validate, you always validate it. If it is proper, it will validate. It will say it is validated. If it is not proper, it will give you some error. So now going back to this, I will show you by adding JSON screen. JSON ignore, it won't come, right? So let me run this main method. So this is how you add a table to the database. I have not created in front of you, but these are the create query. I have it here. I created it. Before coming to this session, we can use the same query to create a table with a constant, foreign key constant for the person. And these are the query which I altered the table for making these keys or the values not null, right? First name not null, last name not null, middle name will be null. Sometimes people will not have middle name, and gender will always be not null, age is not null. So it was id primary key, but in database I have not made it my primary key, so I added this altered table person add primary key. If you write a create query already having a primary key, you are not required to run and execute it. If you deploy it into Tomcat by creating a web archive, definitely this will work because see, I have not commented out main extent anything. I have not done any comment out, nothing. I have done it here. You just take a build and it will start working. Now it is running here, right? Let's go and see, hit the URL again with this ID. See, this is coming back. See, okay, this has not ignored this person. Is not still is coming fine. There might be something else. I will see it later, and I will show you how to remove that from the JSON if the person is not required. Now this is how we are getting the value. Let's stop this server, and what I will do, I will show you now how to do it in your Tomcat. I'm going to Java project. This update, right? Command line. See here, if you see target, in target you see this is the folder, right? Coming back to your log files. This log file got created today. I will show this log file. You can see what in the log file is, what we have in the log file. This log file, okay. Let me open it with Notepad++. See in log file, if I go down, the same thing what we are seeing there, here also you will see. Whatever this console was showing, the same thing is here. You see the same thing in the console because I have printed it in the logger.info, right? So in logger.info, if you see, it is directly showing person equal to this. Let's go to the code, and so I will see that in code also. Here it is, I'm printing, right? Where it is? Yeah, here it is, I'm printing the JSON string. So you see how it is printing. So the build, I have to do it here. Uh, yeah, so string update here upon a command. I think I've already opened the command here. So here ambient package and the web archive. This is Web Archive, right? In technology, Java technology or Java framework, WAR is basically Web Archive or Web Application Archive. And this Web Archive is deployed in JBoss, Tomcat, IBM, you know, there are so many uh, servers where you can deploy. WebLogic is also there for from Oracle, right? JBoss is there, Tomcat is there. You can deploy this WAR file to all this web application server, and you can this web WAR file is basically web archive in Java. And whatever I'm talking here, it is only associated with Java technology, Java framework, nothing other than that, right? So we are learning here. I'm sharing my knowledge on Java technology, Java framework to the students, engineering students, maybe fresher, or maybe person who is curious to learn about Java technology, Java framework, or maybe the individuals, those who are actually interested to grow or make their career in Java framework or Java technology. See here, target this, what is there, right? Let me take this and deploy it in Tomcat. Go to web app. I'll delete the existing one. The reason behind that, it will make the server slow. I'll put this here. And then in bin we'll have the logs. Let me delete that logs. Yes, I deleted. So now we are already, cleaned up this thing. I will go back to open a command prompt so that I can start up the server. I will clean the work folder also. You know, because sometimes in work folder you have some cache that will slow down the server. So let's go and start the. I'm starting the Tomcat here. In Tomcat always we assess based on the application context, right? I'm copying this, creating the URL before the Tomcat stack. It will be port number will be 8081. I have modified this port number, and here I'm doing this slash. Right. See, whenever we talk about technology framework, JAR is Java archive, WAR is web archive. So in the short form, we always talk. It is nothing to do with any other context. Here the context is programming language. Here the context is software development. Here the context is technology framework. Here the context is how to deploy the application into the Tomcat. That's into Tomcat or into any other server application server. So always it depends on on which context we are talking. Based on that, the meanings come out of it. So here our context is I am passing knowledge on Java framework, right? And currently, basically on Hibernate, how we can map many, how can map person to address. That is the context. And deployment context is basically it is you already know. I'm talking the same thing. In deployment, always will have the same context, same talk. You build a jar, deploy it. You build a work, deploy it. You build a EAR file, deploy it. Right? So jar is Java archive, war is web archive, EAR file is enterprise archive. Web archive, sometimes people call it as web application archive. jar sometimes people call it Java application archive. EAR, sometimes people call it as enterprise application archive. This is uh, this logs. Since I have enabled all logs, we are seeing so many logs. I will next time I will log for the I will make it only debug. It's giving all the logs. Even if debug logs are two, will make all information or less number of logs will disable it. Seeing so many logs is like basically uh, only generating logs. Yes. So it started now. Let's go and hit that URL. So here application context is added, right? And then I'm hitting that URL. Port number I have changed. It's taking so much of time. Yeah, it can. See, it gave the value, right? Person ID is equal to this is the same value I'm getting for my name. And you see here in the Tomcat console also you will have that same JSON printed here. Here this is the same JSON printed, right? And if you go to the logs, let me open this log with Notepad++. See here also will have the same information here. You see same information, right? So this is how you do, and your task is how to this is only you need to what you can do. I'll just help you out how to do your task. Open SOAP UI, right? And I have already already this JSON is here, the formatted JSON. You can always first read the URL to get the response back. When you get the response, where or when you fetch a ID by using person by ID, you get a JSON with address. And this JSON is your formatted JSON and a proper JSON. You can use this JSON to create a record using SOAP UI or Postman. Take this JSON, which is coming from the response, put it in SOAP UI request or your Postman request and send to the create API, right? And send it to the create API. Here you have a create API, create person, send it to the create API and see how it works. I would have done this, but I'm keeping it for you as a task. Whoever is watching my video, at least they should do something, not only watch, right? Something not more than that. So this is a task for you. Create because see fetching is very easy. When you create a person, you will come to know how it is. And in my next session, I will tell you this create also. This is a task till the next session. Next session I will look what I can deliver in Java full stack development, and I will show you that in the next session or coming session. So here I will end this session. I'll push this create query to the this add this create query into the readme file and post it to the GitHub. You all can learn. You all can get these queries from the GitHub and execute this query accordingly. Accordingly you can accordingly you can continue. Accordingly you can continue with uh, your development. Thank you, everyone. See you in next session.